Hello, my name is Christian LaCroix, and I'm a gigantic Breaking Bad fan, and I literally just watched El Camino, and I am just absolutely blown away. So I'm using this video to, hopefully have some sort of a conversation with other Breaking Bad fans out there, and obviously Better Call Saul I include in that as well, but I was absolutely blown away. Like, such an incredible movie. We finally got just questions answered for so long. I remember after watching the finale, and I thought, like, how incredible is the finale? Obviously, but then I thought to myself, where's he going? What's he gonna do? There's no way that he just rides off into the sunset immediately. That shot in the beginning of him driving off, the same shot that we see in the very end of Breaking Bad whenever he's driving off, versus like the very last shot that came to be when he was finally, like a new person and he got to start all over again. Like, that was incredible. Like, the same framing, the same everything. Very, very gorgeous shot. And speaking of gorgeous, the entire movie, the absolute entire movie was just incredible. The cinematography was just, it was amazing. The way Breaking Bad was, it was just so visually, like, there's so much packed into every last frame. It seems like something's going on, something's being told, more of the story's being, like, pushed, and this didn't lack in any of that either. So it was truly incredible. But Badger and Skinny Pete, wow, they are absolutely like the kind of friends that you want. Like what good guys. Obviously, they were gonna do whatever for their friend, but like, truly going above and beyond, giving him his car, having Badger go to Mexico, throw everything off. Like, that was amazing. That was absolutely incredible. And then him telling him that, Skinny Pete said, "You're my hero, man." Like, that's incredible. Like, Jesse hasn't had that in such hell, he's never had that in his life. Like, he screwed up in the beginning, by however he ended up taking the route that he took, where he was cooking meth, and that was back in the days when he was adding chili powder to it, and that was something. But he's never had anything like that in his life. He's never had anybody that's looked up to him, at least up until he gets to that point when he's with Andrea. And then we all know how that ended. It's just his lifestyle, everything took a turn. And how incredible that shot that we went back to, of him and Walt, and it was like, it's not that it was a pure time, but it still felt clean at that moment. Yeah, they were cooking meth, but I don't think, nobody had died at that point. No one had died just yet. Jane was still alive. Like, he was in love. They had at least a little bit of money at that point, I think, if I can remember correctly. And it just felt not pure, but, it just felt clean. It felt better. It felt normal for him again, like back to when they first started, before everything started getting, really just messed up, and people started dying, and just, Walt's greed, and just everything that took place. So that was truly incredible. It was a heartbreaking moment. It was almost kind of hard to watch. He said you're so lucky to be so young and to have already done something special. Like Walt waiting his entire life, and it's almost like like they were just cooking meth, I'm sure, is what Jesse thought. But like, they were doing big things together, and it was beautiful. It was incredible, and that performance from them both, and you could tell Jesse really felt it there, and such an amazing flashback. And I don't mean to skip around too much, but jumping to the other flashback of him and Jane, like, I think that's about when I lost it. That was probably one of the happiest moments in his life. He found a purpose, he had some money, everything was good, at least it was okay at that moment, and then she died, and exactly what happened there. And I think in my mind, in the Breaking Bad world, in this universe of these amazing characters, That's exactly where it got skewed, whenever Walt didn't do something, and then Jane died. Like, it just, everything thrown into disarray at that point. It was rare throughout the entire series. It was rare that they were both happy at the exact same time. Jesse would be going through some stuff that was good, and Walt was having a down time, and then it would flip over, and this constantly happened, and that was one of the few times right before all that happened where they were both, at least they both seemed happy, so that was incredible. But the inclusion of this welder, like, it was something I could have never seen coming. It was incredible. It was such a cool shock. At first, whenever Jesse, obviously he went to go find the money that Todd had, after we get the sickening flashbacks, and that was something to watch. Like Todd, once again, just this dead face, the way Jesse described him in Breaking Bad, this psycho. Like he had no empathy towards anything he did, like no reactions, no emotions, no nothing. He just does. The way he strangled his housekeeper, like, she found his money, and like he said, it was almost like she didn't know that he knew it was there, like it was a surprise to them both. But and I get he had to take her out, but he had no nothing. He was making soup whenever they were discussing everything that happened, and he stepped over her like it was nothing with his food to put water in it. It's crazy. How wild. But anyway, like, then they just, Jesse has to, they roll up the body and put it in that rug, and then they drop it off the side, and that thud was terrible. There's so much weight behind it. Imagine if that would have been like a real person, not that they would have been alive, but just, that's a terrible thud. But loading back up into the El Camino, and he has Jesse dig up all this very hard desert ground and put her in there, and while he sat there and smoked. And I wanted so badly whenever he said, "Jesse, go get that pack of smokes from the glove box." And then Jesse had the gun. I wish, and of course he wouldn't. It wasn't in his character to, like endanger Andrea's kid, and like Brock would have been in some serious danger, and eventually Jack would have come back and found Jesse gone and him gone. Like, they would have been able to find like. It wouldn't have been good. Like, Brock would have been in danger, and he knew that, which is definitely why, he finally just bowed down. He didn't really have a choice. But me as a Jesse fan, I wish he would have just popped that fucker in his head, like, right then and there. He could have ended that part. And I know he couldn't just, that would have been great if he could have killed him, driven back, picked up Brock, but who knows where Brock's, probably with Andrea's mother now, so. But it was, that was heart-wrenching. And then he's crying, and he finally tells him, he's like, pepperoni pizza. And that was very hard to watch. Very, very hard to watch. So he finds out, through all this storytelling, he finds out exactly, where Todd was keeping his money. He said he had to do something with a little bit of engineering, but he ended up storing $1 million or so, kind of in the fridge. And after Jesse was in there all night long, he finally, hit his head against the fridge and heard something move and was able to find that money. But anyway, I completely went off on this tangent, back to the welders or whatever. That was amazing, because I was wondering, like, who the hell are these guys? Of course, at first I thought that they were DEA or the police or whatever. I think it was police on their vest, but them coming into the story, and they knew about this money, like, that added an element that I don't think anybody could have expected. And then, man, how crazy, going from this scene to later on, whenever him and that one, I don't remember his name, but anyway, the Mackie welder or whatever, how they ended up having that Wild West showdown. Like, how incredible was that? That they both, he's like, let's go, are you ready? And then Jesse says yes, like he really doesn't seem to have any hesitation, and he tried to do it. He went in there for $1,800 and he tried to do it. And of course he went to go get this money because he had already visited the guy in the vacuum shop. And that guy, oh my God, playing it up, like, that was amazing. And the fact that he was able to take him back, and he said, I'll do it, but I need the first amount that you screwed me on, and the full second amount. So anyway, that's why Jesse was there, obviously, and he went to go, he just wanted $1,800, that's it, but they couldn't do that. They couldn't just give it to him, let him go. Of course not, Everybody at that party coked up super early in the morning, and then gun battle, and Jesse's draw, like, not even his draw, he had that second pistol in his jacket, like, he wasn't going to lose that. He was ready. He wanted to do it right, but he ended up not doing it right, so that was amazing. But anyway, finally we get back, and he's able to be part of this new life. He's able to get a new life through the vacuum repairman and his services, and he decides to go to Alaska, like coming back to that scene at the very beginning of the movie with him and Mike, and once again, not a pure time by any means, everything had already happened. The little boy had already, been killed by Todd at that point, whenever he was like, I'm out. So, but going back to that relationship with him and Jesse, and like, he opens up to Jesse, and it's such a beautiful thing, like seeing that in the very beginning, and the shot, the gorgeous shot with the water, cascading. You see the gorgeous colors in the background. If you can watch this movie in 4K HDR, it is a absolute sight to behold. Like, truly incredible. It was gorgeous. But every bit of it, when you have like a character piece like this, like this was all Jesse's story, like everything lends itself to the character. So the environment, the other actors, the whatever, the vehicles, the keys, every bit of it just kind of leads up and lends itself to the essential character, and it was amazing. It was really incredible. It was beautiful, and it was heartbreaking. I'll admit, I cried, especially whenever, there were two scenes where I was like, man, like, he's had such a rough life, but him and Walter in one of those clean moments where Walt was like, you're so lucky, that was a beautiful moment. And then of course Jane in the end, and him remembering, and he's driving down the road in Alaska, finally able to start again, and be some sort of free, like he hadn't been free in forever. And he's remembering back to happy times. It gave him this, I guess, basic sense of clarity and freedom that he hasn't had since he was with Jane, and he was in love with her, and that was such a good time for him. So I think this movie's absolutely incredible. Hopefully, other people, I would love if everybody would go watch Breaking Bad, and just every bit of it. Like I said, there's so much packed in each individual scene, like the cinematographer, and of course Vince Gilligan being just this mastermind that's truly incredible, along with the actors and everybody. Like, absolutely everybody is like a masterclass in this movie. They're truly incredible. From the Mackie welder, of course Aaron Paul himself, like, truly incredible. Everybody did such an amazing job. I'm in love with this movie, and I cannot wait to buy it whenever it comes out in a physical form. It's really cool. I have I don't know if you can see it. No, it's actually a little bit too high up. But the Breaking Bad barrel, the collector's edition, my wife bought it for me for a birthday years ago. But I've been absolutely obsessed ever since. But anyway, that's basically it. I I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to, you know, just get my thoughts out, and like just the beauty of the entire thing. And I'd like to do this more, you know, like if anybody else wants to talk, hopefully somebody watches this video and just, you know, put some sort of comment, and, you know, like let's discuss. I'll definitely read them, but being such a big fan of just everybody and everything in this movie, and what it is and what it meant, and closing out this very long arc for a character who wasn't going to stay around that long, you know, but here we are, outlasting everybody else. Like, amazing, very amazing. So anyway, that's it. I think that's all my thoughts. Just feel free to let me know what you think. Alright, thanks a lot.